Mark, look at this. Oh my God, I've just seen, the stand mixers, look, with a glass bowl. We need one of that. I get excited. Like, there's many people sitting here today excited about maybe going out clothes shopping, shoe shopping. I've just seen a glass bowl that you can whisk and it can be filled. Isn't that a dream for a director?
I can't say it's a dream.
Mark!
I can't say it's a dream. It's not high on my list of things that I was always hoping to develop.
I want one. How are you all?
No, a glass bowl.
Morning, everybody.
Does anyone know where MeTube is?
Yeah, we haven't seen MeTube for a while, and we're starting to get a little bit like, where's MeTube?
Yeah, where's MeTube?
Is MeTube all right?
MeTube here. MeTube, April Hill, Amy May, Martina McKeown, Clodagh Fiona Big Bum Snotrot, Reed, Egan.
Must be Fiona, nice for you today because you're not rushing.
Elaine Janolfi. Yeah, I've got an extra 5 minutes wriggle room.
And that's because Curly Cooks is recorded today. I was just saying that over on Instagram.
Ashley, hi. Well done on your song.
Hi, Ashley.
Morning, Elliot.
Yeah, Curly Cooks is pre-recorded today because Dina's away, living it large again. Like
living it. She's living it like that.
Yeah, so it's recorded. You remember last week we did sort of posher Easter recipes? Well, this week we've done a lamb recipe, but I've done it with mince.
Morning, Erin.
So it's cheaper, much more affordable. Dina made some beautiful vegan things for Easter. So that will go live at 10 o'clock this morning. But meanwhile,
fabulosity. All right, baby.
Do my yoga.
So what are you going to do?
Yoga.
Floss your teeth with your pubes.
Mark!
Well, actually, with your pube.
I don't even know what to say. That's a lie.
Don't say anything.
And you talk to me about what I say on Loose Women.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you just said that. Can you believe you just said that?
I can. Ashley's laughing.
Well, Ashley better bloody not laugh.
Ellen Jane's laughing. Tina Davis is laughing. Elliot's laughing.
I am not laughing.
JJX is laughing.
Don't make me count to 3. Don't do as I do, do as I say. I'll wipe that smile off your face. I'll give you something to cry for.
Yeah, there you go.
Shitheads.
Okay, welcome, guys. Happy Saturday morning. Hope you're having a lovely Easter. As Nadia says, the 2 cooks on crack will be here at 10. And I think they talk about crack as well.
Say dreadful things.
It's not dreadful. Just go upstairs. We have our own bants down here.
I'm going to go up and do yoga and not be zen because I'm getting worried about what the hell you're going to say next.
Go on, toddler walk. Look, watch, toddler walk, look.
Shut up.
Toddler bum. Look, toddler bum. Anyway, enjoy yoga, says Alison Fisher. Minky Moo, you're at Star Wars Celebration. I filmed one of those. That's crazy, isn't it? Everyone looks fantastic. Obviously, we're going to do the news. I'm just trying to make sure that I've got the right thing pressed. I think I have. Now. The sad story, obviously, of S Club 7. Paul Catamol, a member of S Club 7, died unexpectedly at the age of 46, just before they were going to have a reunion. I mean, I don't know anything about S Club 7. I mean, I've heard of them, obviously. What's some of their sort of top hits? I can't remember. He has died in I never understand this. Not suspicious circumstances. I suppose that could mean suicide. It could mean drugs. The cause of death is... Oh, no, it says the cause of death is currently unconfirmed. But police confirm there's no suspicious circumstances. It's just sad. The band said there are no words to describe the deep sadness and loss. Don't stop moving, of course. You sort of wonder... Again, it's that thing of mental health issues, what was going on for him. I mean, it could have been, I guess, suddenly a heart attack or some kind of acute illness. But yeah, the band say there are no words to describe the sadness we'll feel, and how doubly tragic that was happening literally on the eve of a reunion. So yeah, that's Paul Catamol, who's on the front of, what was he on the front of the Sun? Very sad, very, very, very sad. There's quite a few health stories. He was on First Dates Hotel, was he? Reach for the Stars. Reach for the Star. That's not who did Nadia and her friends go and see? Was that S Club 7 recently? No, that was Steps, wasn't it? I get them mixed up. Reach for the Stars is one of the. I think years ago I might have worked with them in a studio as a studio director. I certainly did with Steps when they released. It was Steps Barbie Girl. Anyway, other stories in the press. There's quite a few health stories today. This one's curious. What do you think of this? Personalized cancer jabs may be ready in 5 years. Moderna, who obviously we all know from the vaccine, they're developing another mRNA therapy that potentially, within 5 years, could have a huge impact on cancer. Studies into therapies for cardiovascular and autoimmune diseases are also showing tremendous promise, which is curious because some of the issues around some of the mRNA therapies, obviously, some people, not a lot, some people. Oh, Barbie Girl was Aqua, thank you. Some people have had, sort of dodgy responses to things, and it's usually around the heart. So mRNA. I mean, I much prefer the AstraZeneca, where it's not sort of fiddling about with your. I know it's not your DNA, but you sort of worry, don't you? So personalized cancer jabs, but this could be a good thing. I saw something else the other day that said there's a drug that's being that's being made available on the NHS that is hugely useful in prostate and I think an ovarian cancer at quite late stage. So, it's amazing, these developments, isn't it? We often talk to the kids. Do any of your kids or younger members of your family often talk about cancer as a fear? Because they talk about, it's a statistic like 1 in 2 people will get cancer. But as Nadia said, a lot of, within that number are a lot of very, very elderly people who often get some kind of cancer. Like my nan got breast cancer. It didn't kill her because it was slow growing. And in fact, I think it went away. But do you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of those statistics are actually in much, much older people. But on that note of cancer, I mean, this is anyone who doesn't like health tests done on animals will not be happy with this. But there's a device that cures mice cancer in a fortnight. A tiny implant has cured mice of breast cancer in 2 weeks. It's a self-charging battery that lets new medication kill off tumors. So I think it works in conjunction with medicine. It runs on salt water injected into the surrounding area, causing consumption of oxygen, and cancer cells are starved of the gas. Wow. I mean, who thought of that? Yeah, I mean, there is poor mice, absolutely, if you're into animal liberation. Morning, Sue. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Cancer of the eye. I'm so sorry. But this again, you sort of think, how the hell do they arrive at this? Tina Davis, I had breast cancer 2019, very early stage, had radiotherapy, now clear now, every year checks, mammogram on a tab as well. Yeah, so sorry to hear that, Sue. Tetchall, hello, that's your name often. Now, we talked yesterday on Coffee Moaning about the advert, and I can show it today, that Labour took out saying this: do you think adults convicted of sexually assaulting children should go to prison? Rishi Sunak doesn't. I think there's a lot of people who feels by targeting him personally, this is inappropriate. Again, let's just do a straw poll. How many of you think this is inappropriate? Because it's created a storm. It's been picked up upon by even the Shadow Chancellor, Labour Chancellor, John McDonnell, former Shadow Culture Secretary, Lucy Powell, couldn't say, I saw her interviewed, she couldn't say whether she thought it was inappropriate. So I don't know. I think it is. And Sir Keir Starmer, as you can see at the bottom there, Pink Lady, I hate the Tories, but that is awful. And Sir Keir Starmer is standing by what obviously the right-wing press are describing as vile adverts. I think I said yesterday, oh, look, Labour ramped up its offensive later with a near identical post accusing Mr. Sunak of also wanting dangerous gunmen to avoid prison. Look, there's a policy there that's not working and the statistics are terrible. But is that right? Is that right? Because I'm sure that if, in a personal, set of circumstances, he wouldn't. They do it all the time in politics, but not. This is quite overt, don't you think, Francesca? Pink Lady, Starmer might as well switch sides. No bother. They need to be named and shamed for all their disgusting policies, Minky Moo. Okay. Coming off the back of this, because obviously Labour are targeting, adults convicted of sexually assaulting children. This piece here is a story in which, the sisters of a schoolgirl who was raped are demanding or asking or suggesting that sex offenders not be allowed to change their name. This is also about, being able to know when someone's in your neighborhood. I suppose what do you think of this, guys? And I'll read out your comments. I suppose the idea behind this is to maintain some kind of anonymity so that, vigilantism and revenge violence doesn't happen. The sisters were the sisters of Colette Gallagher, 6, who was abducted, raped, and strangled by Adam Stein in Corby in 1986. They're campaigning to ensure sex offenders added to the sex offenders register are prevented from changing their names, particularly if their crimes involve children. What do you think? I think that it's got to be. It's like, local communities having the right to know if a sex offender is in the neighborhood. And I suppose the danger with this is, say you do know that there's a sex offender in the neighborhood and they have the same name. Do they become an automatic target? Amy May, they care more about their own interest than child abusers, so I'm glad they've called them out. Oh, sorry, I think you're talking about the Tories shouldn't change name or gender, says Good Ship Lollipop, for everyone else's protection. Erin, interestingly, on the Rishi advert, the Tories have put out much worse propaganda. Good point. Pink Lady, can't say rapists shouldn't go to prison, but for lower level crimes, I would agree. What have we got here? Techiol, yes, because they have the tendency to repeat. Dawny Harvey, hi Dawny. If they didn't rape someone, they wouldn't need to change it. Shouldn't be allowed. Fair point. Anne Murray, the new alarm system they're putting in our phones should sound when there's a sex offender in the area. That's quite a good idea. Faith Goodman, I think it's important because they could disappear from records. Steph Schultz, do we think they ever change to get second chance? Probably not, but don't agree with vigilantism. Another story, vigilantism. The story regarding Nike and the trans model. Sharon Davies, Olympic swimmer, has come out against it, as has Amelia Strickler, the shot put gold medalist. I think we kind of established in our chat yesterday, Erin, it would be great to get your comments again, that in a sense, what's most wrong with this story is that she's not an athlete. Well, she's certainly not a high-profile athlete. She's obviously in the process. I think she's taking hormonal drugs already, but she hasn't transitioned. But this is causing a spin, and people are literally, sports personalities are calling for a boycott. I'm not entirely sure what sort of weight or sway Sharon Davies has, nor Amelia Strickler. Inclusivity is important, but for me, I think it's more about them just being a model rather than an actual athlete. And I think I'm with you, Faith, there. But it's not about her being trans. Obviously, she's selling sports bras, and that's one of the bones of contention. But I think baked into any issue with that is an intolerance of diversity in some way. One size fits all, Anne Murray. They're getting lots of publicity for sure, says Steph Schultz. Yeah, it could bring a younger, more sort of, what's the word? Aware sort of customer. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday on the channel, a trailer landed for a new documentary about Michael J. Fox. Are you Michael J. Fox fans? We reacted to it. Oh, sorry. Let's get rid of that. How do I get rid of the sun? Oh, that's really. Ugh. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me move across here. That sun is a terrible old glare. Let's do. That's better. This is Michael J. Fox. There's a new documentary coming to Apple TV, in which obviously he talks about his career, his life, being diagnosed with Parkinson's. They're calling him the fantastic Mr. Fox. He opens up about his life, his career. Elliot, can't wait to watch that. Back to the Future is one of my favorite all-time films. It's a great movie, isn't it? It really is. Me and Maddie we went to see a triple bill at the Prince Charles. We had forgotten how naff we thought number 2 was. Karen Ula, hi Mark, love Michael J. Fox and will definitely be watching. Love Doc Hollywood 2, Steph Schultz. I was a big fan of Teen Wolf. I really liked Teen Wolf. I thought that was a fabulous sort of twist. And they've done a series, haven't they? I thought it was a fabulous twist on the whole werewolf thing. Werewolves are weird, aren't they? An American Werewolf in London was good. Anyway, but going back to him. But this is an interesting detail to his story. He used alcohol in the early days of his diagnosis. Just quickly on that, Aaron Bullimore, still no one is talking about trans men, so even more evidence that it's just transphobia running rampant in sports. There you go. Just one sec. Good God. Yes, this is, he used alcohol to manage his symptoms, like so many people with all sorts of physical, mental issues. They'll turn to alcohol. I mean, for sure, I'm probably, we've talked a lot about this, how I probably found myself in alcohol and drugs because it was kind of anesthetizing the issues that were bipolar, depression, all that. But he said, he's now been, look at this, 30 years without a drink. He says he drank far too much, and he sort of suggests that if he'd carried on, he was definitely, he says he was definitely an alcoholic back then. But bless him, to what extent, it's another reason not to judge people who are doing things to accept, there's that kind of, you get that attitude. I mean, we know people, Nadia knows people have the attitude of, you just need to control your drinking, just don't be greedy and all that kind of stuff. And food is the same, actually he was using alcohol to manage his symptoms. That's Michael J. Fox. So I just thought it was an extra detail that I'd never heard about. 30 years without drink. That's quite something, isn't it? Before you hit the road or the train, look at this. This is holidaymakers at Stansted Airport struggling for trains while drivers queued also at Dover. Look at that. You'd want to be in that. It's like the last train out of Saigon as travel chaos erupts across the country. And there's another piece underneath saying, could this spell the death of the coach holiday? Has anyone been on a coach holiday? Dawny Harvey, just the thought of alcohol makes me feel queasy. Russ, it's expensive to drink, smoke, and take drugs these days. It's prohibitively expensive. Has anyone done a coach trip? I remember when I was a kid, my nan took me on. I think the company was called Excelsior. Was it Excelsior? God, how could I remember that? And they used to take you on mystery trips. And I think one of the mystery trips they took us on was to Doodle Doodle or whatever it was. Doodle Doodle. When I was younger, Laura S. Yes, happy Easter, Jawsler. It's a pre-record of the Curly Cooks today. Yes, April Hill. When I was I remember. Coaches took you on school trips, didn't they? And I always just got sick. But does anyone else have a memory of running your fingers over the sort of almost felt covers of the seats, or is that just me? I remember spending hours just rubbing my fingers, and the material would just do that. I remember material, and it was the kind of material I think coaches now have. I don't know why I'm going here, guys. I don't know where it's going to end up either. Used to have leather seats. I think they now have leather seats, but back in the day, if you were sick, it would go into this material. Do you remember that? Yeah. Do you remember? You did that, Fiona. Yes. For a split second, thought you were asking if anyone had been on a Coke trip. Joe Britnett. Has anyone? Yeah, Emma Walsh, you did that. Thank God someone else did that. They also had certain seats like that on the I can't get rid of this effing sun. Look at that. It's so annoying. Oh no, that's no good. So yeah, get careful if you're traveling anywhere. Careful this week, because a lot of people this morning will be like, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on Saturday because I'm clever. Right, I can't do this. This is driving me nuts. I'm going to go right round here, and then I'm going to pull you right over here. Oh, God, thank God for that. That's better. So you did do that. People did do that. That's so cool. God, you don't know how heavy this table is. That's so cool that other people fingered seats on coaches. Okay, this next story is weird. This is who has health anxiety? Health anxiety? Just one sec. I think it's 116123, Claire. I hope you're okay. Yeah, there you go, Stacey. Thank you. Sweetie, yeah, do give them a call if you're struggling. Sorry, darling. Drew Osler, I fell over in the aisle of a coach on the way to Alton Towers and fell over onto a few lads who were sat at the back of the coach. Someone spread a rumour that I was having an affair. I had my first illicit kiss on a coach with a girl called Mandy. No, was it Mandy? No, it wasn't. Was it Mandy? Was it Mandy? Or was it Annabelle? I think it was Annabelle. Yeah, coaches. I think I saw Grease. You know, they used to have televisions at the front, didn't they? That made me sick as well. So you have health anxiety. Okay, well, look, an NHS psychiatric ward in South London is using VR to help remove patients' anxiety. So you can see dolphins, you can relax on an empty beach, you can see... Now, I hate to say it, if I saw a herd of elephants coming towards me, that would make my anxiety even worse. Would it you? I don't know if that would calm me. You can stand in a field of horses at dawn. It's a bit stressful. They're using an app called V-Relax, and you can choose all sorts of things that you come face to face with. You can stand in an alpine field full of cows. What would be your relaxing VR scene or scenario to stand in? I for sure wouldn't want to stand in an open sort of savannah with elephants coming towards me. But this is being used to help people with their mental health in order to calm them down. It's being tested to help insomniacs, autistic children, and survivors of bullying. But it is a lovely use of VR. And I talked about another story in the week where a train line company and the government were using VR to help educate people how to spot other people on the underground or trains being essentially sexually assaulted. Subtle sexual assault, if such a thing could be described, but where men are sort of behaving in a curious way. Laura Dion, it would take you out of your head. Hot springs, says Erin Two Spirit. That would be nice. It mentions the hospital. Let's have a look. Which hospital is it? It's University Hospital Lewisham. That's where Izzy was born. There you go. So this story, you'll remember Jeremy Renner. I talked, I think, on Friday about the list of injuries that he had and the extent of them, and the fact that he described himself that he was in a situation where one eye was so damaged it was looking at the other eye. He hasn't lost sight, but that's pretty dramatic. But he's kind of said it was all my fault. And I just wanted to show you the sequence of events or the illustrations to show you what happened to him. So his nephew attaches a snowcat to the Ford to pull it out of the driveway. He then parks the vehicles on a hill. He then, as the snowplow starts to roll away, he jumps onto the wheel tracks. You know, those great big wheel tracks that you get. And look at this. This is the extent to what happened. He then went under that and it rolled over him. Try telling me he's not an actual real-life superhero. Thanks, Emma Walsh. Quite something, eh? He says he forgot to put the brake on. He said it was my fault. And yeah, all those injuries, he sort of says, yeah, what a dick. But he survived. Isn't that astonishing? Or something? It's like almost a steamroller going over you. Quite hideous. So anyway, he's at least making a recovery. Okay, I want you to guess what was wrong with this dog. I couldn't believe this story. What was wrong with this dog? How long have we got? Not long. Any guesses? Coco is the first recorded case of an alcoholic dog. And it had to go into cold turkey because its owner would leave, instead of water, would leave glasses and bowls of alcohol for it. This dog was treated for alcohol addiction, the first case of its kind. Another dog, it was brought in with another dog after the death of its owner. They needed emergency care. He made a recovery, given sedatives for 4 weeks because he went into the DTs. Isn't that awful? Poor little thing. So yeah, a dog that was actually forced by its owner to become an alcoholic. Unbelievable. This is a curious one. I mean, this just shows you know nothing. Apparently, the Archbishop of Canterbury takes antidepressants. And he says they allow him to function normally rather than be overcome by despair. I suppose the thing about this that kind of surprised me, and then I thought, why should it surprise me? Why should this surprise me? Is that I suppose I always think that someone, especially someone so high up in the church or in their faith, so committed, would find sustenance and mental health help, if you like, from their faith and their religion. So when I read this, I was quite staggered. He was referring to the gloomy but likable donkey in AA. In AA Milne's Winnie the Pooh. I'm on antidepressants. They work very well. They restore me to Eeyore status from something much worse. Wow, my heart goes out to him. It just shows you. Wow. He also spoke of the despair he and his wife felt when his second child fell seriously ill and had to undergo neurosurgery just a year after the death of their eldest child. We felt the absence of God. Where was the hope then? There's always hope because the hope is the faithfulness of God. See what I mean? That's quite something. Andrew Crash, it's a pre-record. Nadia's actually upstairs doing, which she never chips in on this, she's upstairs doing yoga. Maybe he should find God, Good Ship Lollipop. I think he has, but I think what's interesting is just because you have faith doesn't mean you can't be hijacked by emotions. Some of the silliest stories. Waitrose are taking the pigs out of Percy. Chocolate egg crack at M&S. It's no yolk, says the Sun. Waitrose has had a pop at Percy Pig as they have introduced Sunnyside Sam, the white chocolate egg, which is calling out Percy in Easter egg ads. Waitrose claims Easter eggs are a thing. Easter pigs? I like a Percy Pig. Another story that's been conflated with wokeness, which it isn't, but this is mollycoddling. Dracula Spider's Alarm. University students reading Dracula have been given warnings because there are scary spiders in there. Have these universities seen what's on, what movies are released and how many of them youngsters like? They say woke professors, but I think that's an insult to woke. They've been mocked for alerting youngsters to the perils of creepy crawlies in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oh my God. Because the characters are in search of young women's blood. This is the University of Greenwich. They say, the book contains violence, death, murder, child abduction and death, depictions of mental illness, misogyny, the supernatural, imprisonment, references to suicide, animal abuse, descriptions of spiders and other insects. Sounds like an average Sunday morning in our house. It's quite something, isn't it? wrapping in cotton wool a bit too much. Yeah, it's not woke. This is something else. And at the bottom of that page, you can see AI foils sickies. An algorithmic chatbot AI thingamajig can tell or can read and analyze the voice of people ringing in. And they can decode the sounds that suggest someone is lying. Someone is lying. Claire, it's really important you get off this live, and for the sole reason that you call the Samaritans now. Absolutely call them now. Please. It's crucially important. Oh, what do you mean? We've got adverts. Adverts? We never get adverts in a live. That happened once before, didn't it? I'll have to check that out. Contact our YouTube woman. That's weird. Sometimes YouTube test new things out, and sometimes we get the tests. But I'll check. So yeah, please, Claire, please call. I mean, this, obviously we've got all of our sympathies, but this isn't the place to be. You need to immediately call the Samaritans. Sorry, yeah, it feels sort of brutal kind of carrying on. AI foil sickness. So I've said that. I've done that one. Look at this. 101-year-old pilot, hero war pilot, flies again for birthday treat. Second World War fighter has taken to the skies to celebrate his 101st birthday. Look at that. Don't be sorry, Claire, but please, 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 as you're typing now, you could be phoning the Samaritans. Please. Tough love. You need to do it now. Please do it now, darling. You've got everyone's sympathy, but please, please do it now. This is sweet. This is lovely. Captain Bernard Gardner flew 71 combat missions, and he took to the air again. See, I'd worry if I was 101. I wouldn't be able to take it. I mean, G-force. If I was 101, the G-force would take the skin off my body. Quite something, isn't it? But I love those sorts of stories. I was talking yesterday about whether what was I talking about? Whether anyone would survive or is alive from World War II, and there you have the answer. Which story is this? Galaxy of film fans reach for the stars and their wallets. This is, I think, someone else here was at Star Wars Celebration. 4-day Jedi Jamboree. Look at them. They're fabulous. Those I forget what their race is in Star Wars, but that's quite something. And so hundreds descended upon Star Wars Celebration, which I have to say I went to years ago, and I was like a kiddie in a sweet shop. It was just wonderful. This I pulled. We haven't really got time to talk about it at length. I think I've pulled too many stories. Have they got nudes for you? That's quite a good headline. The unstoppable rise of naked reality TV. So Nadia's not going to like that. There's a shot of 4 sets of buttocks, which, it's not a judgment of the buttocks, but do you necessarily want to see them? And look, there they are being filmed on the right. There's a huge vogue, isn't there, for filming naked people. What's this one here? Naked, alone and racing to get home. Being filmed on a chilly hillside for E4. You have to race home. I'd have thought you'd get arrested, wouldn't you? I'm just kind of trotting through some of the stories so that we can... what's this one here? Oh, I like this. Let's look at this. Husband can't read your mood. Husband can't read your mood. No more nakedness, says Sadie C. Twi'leks, those aliens are. Oh, Twi'leks. Thank you very much. Twi'leks. Don't want to see wobbly bits, thanks, says Laura Dion, although concept intrigues me. Look at this story. Husband can't read your mood, so send him an emoji. Cherry D, we have no naked shows in Canada, so prudish here. Picking up on subtle changes in the partner's mood has never really been men's strong point. So emojis are the way to explain to men how you're feeling. This is a study done at the University of Milano Bicocca in Milan. They recruited 96 male and female students. They showed them all lots and lots of emojis, and it was the only way that men could really get a grasp on what women were feeling. Do you like emojis? I've started using more emojis the older I get. I often send a dancing, is it a tangoing woman? I've got a feeling that's a bit saucy. Is it? I like this headline. This headline is good. I can't believe... Oh, no, not that one. I can't believe it's net butter. Aldi have put Lurpak in security nets so that people won't pinch it. I've seen this actually in Sainsbury's because they become ludicrously expensive with the cost of living crisis. 600-gram tubs of butter, they're large tubs, have soared to £5.35. A shopper called Stefani Nerding said, "What the fuck?" But I guess, this was in Kidbrooke, Southeast London. A lot of things in our shops, including, what was it, in the local Tesco's, chicken breasts had a security tab on them. Can you believe that? So it's Easter, and I've pulled some photos. I've pulled some photos for you. So let's have a look. We have, what's that? Oh no, we're not doing that. We have, oh look, the Easter bunny. Dogs aren't for Christmas, bunnies aren't for Easter. Pets at Home is pausing the sale or the adoption of rabbits across all its stores. I think this is a very good idea. It's just, the RSPCA recommended that this should happen. Apparently something like last year, 194 rabbits were brought into the RSPCA and abandoned within 1 week. Oh, wabbit pie, good chip lollipop. That's brutal. That's brutal. I think that's a good thing. And look, here we go. Look, photos. Look at this. The Passion of Christ has been played out in all areas of the country and abroad. The one at the top is in Leicester Square. In Piccadilly Circus, Trafalgar Square. Been a Londoner for 50 years, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Trafalgar Square. 20,000 people have gathered there to watch this. Can you actually believe that? Below, walking on water. Not really. Where's this? This is Beale Sands, Northumberland. People have been carrying crosses everywhere. This one here is, I think this is in South America. This is in Antigua, Guatemala. People, they really go for it. They really, really go for it, don't they? Where is it? Where is she? Claire, have you rung? I can't call them, sorry. Right, Claire, I'm going to contact you straight after this on Instagram. You really need to, you need to call them now. You pick up the phone and call them now. I mean, we are so limited in what we can do here. We can't share your address. We can't do anything like that. So I'm going to come off this at the end, and we're going to try and help you. I'm just going to wrap this up quickly. There's a hope that we will become as blossomy as Japan. Cherry D crucifixion stuff is weird and grim. It absolutely is. Here's a photo of a washed cat, silly pet selfie. Here's the oldest Easter egg in the world, 83 years old. Here is lightning hitting the World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan, which is quite something. Look at these. Look, gannets competing to catch a fish. And here were some really light-hearted photos to take you into the Easter weekend. Not that one. Look at him. Look at him. Don't be sorry, Claire. Don't be sorry. And look at him. So there you go, guys. I think we should go. Any help? If anyone has a direct communication with Claire, then obviously let's reach out and help Claire. Bar you having someone with you to actually call the Samaritans, you really need to call the Samaritans. Please, once you get off here, I'm going to pop the number underneath this live. I think a lot of people have popped the number up there. I think you may have called them before in the past. Please do. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head off. Obviously, the Curly Cooks is landing in 4 minutes, and lots of love. And I hope you enjoy.